Thanks for taking the time today. Always excited to talk to new coaches and figure out how they're helping people, the kind of results they get for their clients, but also the behind the scenes of how their business works. Can you give me the 30,000 foot view of your typical client and the typical service you offer them?
Yeah, so basically, I take someone that is unhealthy, and unhealthy means you have a bad lab work, like bad labs, or you have you're overweight, or some of them they don't talk about it, but they drink too much, they smoke too much, like something like an addiction, right? Unhealthy, that's a big umbrella, but that's unhealthy. Some of them have diabetes, and I bring them to a land of healthy. And to get to that new land of being healthy, we have to go through many changes. A lot of it is like diet, because it's 80% of your results. Some of it is like exercising, but 100% of that is also mindset. Yeah, because if those guys are unhealthy, there's a reason, and we have to understand what's behind that. And so we have to fix it. And then they can be in peace with their thoughts so that they can just do what they have to do, what they're supposed to do. Okay, and right now, I work a lot with guys in their 40s and 60s who have basically diabetes issues like a high A1C, it's a blood sugar biomarker, and I help them to lower that and fix it. I would say 20% of my clients do have a metabolism problem that they don't know how to fix, and they come to me, and
Mm.
I'm an expert in that now, so I can identify what it is and they can fix it. But 80% of the people I work with, they have like a food addiction, or there's something about food, and it's a mental game, and we have to fix that. So yeah, that's what I do, and I do that because I had for over 10 years of my life an alcohol addiction. I was like freaking prisoner of that, and so I'm a high achiever. Like I'm successful when I compare myself to who I was in the past. So I'm a pretty good guy, right? I'm a dad. I'm not divorced. Like I have all the good stuff. But I had this one thing, the alcohol, and it was destroying my life. And it took me 10 years. I read all the books. I went through like all the big stuff. And one day in 10 minutes, I had like a click. Everything made sense to me. I got rid of the alcohol. I lost 35 pounds. I fixed my insulin resistance, which I had in the past. I fixed my health. And now I'm like super, super healthy. I'm a health freak. And I went from like 0 to 100. And that change, man, it changed my life because this is when I decided to start my like a new business. I decided to do this. Like I was just a new man because now I didn't have to worry about the alcohol, the health, the feeling bad. I didn't have all these thoughts in my head anymore. So I had more capacity to think about new things. And now it's like business, it's like my family and all these projects. And so the change was like so dramatic. It was like, oh my God, it feels so freaking good. I was like, I got to help other people to make that change to feel very good. And this is what I've been doing for the last 4 years now, just to help people and be like, dude, like I'm gonna take you on the other side. It's gonna feel so good. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna feel so good once you're there. So that's what I do and why I do it.
It's a remarkable story, man. And I'm constantly blown away reading about what percentage of people are struggling with addiction in modern life. One of the
Mm.
things that I think is really interesting is that you mentioned you were a high achiever in many other areas
Mhm.
of your life. And I've noticed over the years that it seems like addiction seems to chase after high achieving people, highly
Mhm.
driven people, maybe even more so than the general population. I was wondering if you have any insights into why.
Because I respond quickly because that's my first thought. I haven't thought about it even more than that. But my first thought is a lot of high achievers or type A's, obsessed. They're like, I'm just gonna get it, and they go extreme on things. They don't go soft. For example, I just built a new sales page for my business. I spent maybe I don't know like 30 hours on it, but I've done it within like 2 or 3 days because I was so obsessed with it. My hand is hurting right now because I spent just the last 3 days doing this, nothing else. And that's the extreme. Like when I was working in the corporate world, so I'm French, I come from France. In France, you work from like 8, 9 until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then you
Sure,
stop.
famously.
You don't want to go extreme. And me over there, I was always extreme going to like on the other side of the spectrum. Anyway, so I'm a type A. I'm like that. I'm like obsessed. And so I think when you're obsessed like that, I don't know if it's good or not for you, but you find relief on the side on other things. Can be alcohol, can be smoking, can be like other things. So yeah, that may be the reason why it gives you a relief. Like this, yeah, the relief from whatever is keeping you stressed or active or something like that.
What other things do you see workaholics struggle with in terms of their health? Put another way, has it been your experience that there are lots of people, lots of high achieving business people or executives who still struggle with their weight and things like diabetes?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Has it been your experience that lots of executives and high achieving people still struggle with their weight and diabetes, even though they're succeeding in business?
Oh yeah, a ton of them. Yeah, so I don't know how to explain it. It's just that so basically what this is, when you start as a high achiever, you are motivated by something. You want a big house, you want a big family, you want a big car, you want money, you want to provide for your family, you want all these things. And a lot of time, like very often, it's because when you grow up, you didn't have a lot of money. I have like many clients, including me, who just grew up on food stamps and stuff like that. So when you grow up, you're like, fuck this. I don't want to be like that. This is not the life that I want. I want all this big stuff. So I'm a high achiever. I'm gonna go and do that. And the priority becomes the success. I want the money. I want the big house. I want all these things. And so you go after that. And because this is a priority, everything else it goes on the side. Because being healthy doesn't mean like when you start being healthy doesn't mean you're successful. Like who cares? Like money in my bank account is success. The big car is success. The big house is success for a lot of people. Not for everyone, but for a lot of people. So you go after that, and then health comes on the side. And so why do some people are overweight and some people have diabetes? Because some people are more fragile. Their bodies has a different capacity to handle bad food and carbs and stuff like that. And so after a point, it breaks and you end up with diabetes. You may have some guys who are like just overweight, no diabetes, because their capacity to handle like the bad food is just higher. So yeah, and I think the key in someone's development when you grow as becoming who you want to become is to understand early enough in your life that health is the priority. Because if you don't have health, you have nothing. But when you hear someone saying it, like me right now, if you're listening and you hear, oh yeah, health is a priority, my butt, it's not. I don't care about it until you understand it, until you experience it. Okay. So me, when my daughters were born, I was like, it was a big shock. I was like, oh man, if they see me drinking like this, it's not gonna be good. Now I'm on the other side, right? When I pick up my girls, I have my two strong arms with my two girls. I feel strong. That feeling is good. Why? Because I understood a few years back that health was a priority. And now, you know what? I'm like crushing it on business, crushing it with my clients, crushing it everywhere. And I have health. I have like everything. And I feel very good. I feel like fulfilled. So I think the key for people is to understand soon enough in their lives that changing their health can change the rest of their lives.
Do you think becoming a father is a wake up call for a lot of highly driven people to take better care of their health?
Yes and no. Yes, it was for me. No, it's not for some people because this morning I had a call with a client. He's 50 something and diabetes, overweight, everything bad. And he had this call with the grandkids. So the kids did nothing to him. He was a bad health this whole life. And then when the grandkids came, that changed. And he said, when I got the grandkids, it's a different type of love and your heart opens up to something else. And it's so weird. But when I got the grandkids, now I was like, my health is important. So I think for some people, yes, for some people, no. And the bad thing about us being humans is that we move away from pain more than we go towards pleasure. And I think that's a big problem because you will wait to feel the pain to do something about it. And the biggest advice that I have for anyone, you, me, someone listening, is in life, instead of thinking about the things you don't want, the pain, right? You want to think about what you want. So a lot of people will tell me, "Oh, I don't want to die early. I don't want a heart attack. I don't want diabetes. I don't want XYZ." I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem. What do you want instead?" And they're like, "I don't know." Yeah, but so if you don't want a heart attack, what do you want instead? And they think, I'm like, I don't know. I never asked myself this question. And yeah, that's why you're unhealthy because you're focused on the things that you don't want. And at the end of the day, we attract the things that we think about the most. And so if you think about the things you don't want, this is what you attract. Because right now, let's do a small exercise. Jeff, do not think about a pink elephant. Don't think about the pink elephant. Honestly,
A
don't
good
think about
trick.
the pink elephant. What do you think about?
A pink elephant.
So refocus and think about the things you want, and that's gonna help you. have a long, healthy lifestyle. And you can still enjoy the pizza and the burgers and stuff like that. You can do that, but think about the things you want instead. It's gonna be easier for you to be healthy.
Why do you think that successful people are so good at focusing on their business goals and financial goals, but not as good at creating health and fitness goals?
It's because they have a value problem, like a value problem. So a value, it's not another word, but it's, or if you don't understand value, you can think about priorities, but it's not really it. Values, so basically, in your head, you have beliefs about who you think you are. That's your identity. Okay. So if I say, hey, Jeff, who are you? Hey, I'm this guy from Los Angeles. And this, I ask you about your story. You're going to tell me, oh, like I grew up like this with brothers and sisters. I did this. This is your identity. I am. Okay. Now, in your head, secretly, you have beliefs about yourself. Ah, no, I'm not good at this. I'm good at this. I'm not good at that. Okay. That's your identity. Your identity drives two things in life: your beliefs, like general beliefs, and then your values, what you value. So if you're like a business owner, probably you value freedom. You value maybe happiness. You value this. You have to know, like everybody has different values. You have to know your own values. What do you value? And for a lot of people in business, what they value is achievement. They value achievement. They want achievement. If being healthy is not connected to achievement, it's going to be impossible for you to do that because you don't value it. Why would you do it? When you go to the gym, like if you don't have like if it doesn't excite you, why would you do that? No one would do it. So you have to understand yourself, number one, understand what you value, and then connect a bridge from where you are now to that new value. So I had this guy one time, overweight. He could not get himself to do anything about it. And I was like, dude, like, what does it do to you to do that, to be successful in business and stuff? Oh, it means I am that. I am like this, guys. I'm successful. And so I said, what if being healthy, losing weight, would mean you're successful too? And it's like, oh yeah, that's so right. You're right. And right now, it may not make sense to you and me because we're not in his head. But for him, that sentence resonated. It changed his belief about himself. It changed the value. No, it changed the belief. It changed the bridge to the value. And then he got healthy. Because for him, it was about going to the gym to be successful, not going to the gym to be healthy. Because being healthy is not sexy for him, but being successful is. So you have to map those values in your head and try to connect like that. And the only way to do that is to talk to someone like me, because I'm going to ask you some painful questions and I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to ask you the questions until we go to the ground and you understand yourself more than before.
What are the first few things you do with successful people to help them to start taking better care of their health without sacrificing the success they've built?
Audit. We do an audit. We audit. Like, you come, okay, Lord, tell me what's going on. So your food, what are you doing? Exercise, what are you doing? Where are you at? Because yeah, so it's a big audit. Where are you at? Because a lot of people they say, "Oh, I want to go to this cloud in the air." Okay, no problem. Where are you at? I'm on this step. Okay, and they try to jump right away to that level, and it doesn't work because in reality, you may be on step number 10, and this guy is on step number 3, and then the guy online who's ripped and he went to the cloud before you was on step number 900. He's closer to the goal, right? So everybody has a different starting point. So the first thing that we have to do is to understand where are you at, right? From there, instead of jumping to the end, you want to do small changes that will not bring you excitement in the beginning, but will compound over time. And this is how you can revolutionize the state of your health because you just add small improvements. And at one point, things just like, go nuts. And you're like, this is how you become super healthy.
So, by setting realistic goals, you're able to allow people to build healthy routines into their successful life.
Exactly, to build to do that. And one thing that is important, you set the goal. You set the goal that is realistic, number one, and number two is to lower the expectation. So if you're a high achiever, you don't have like high expectations and everything, and that's why these guys are so unhealthy because they have high expectations. And when they don't meet that expectation, I need to eat healthy 7 days a week. I need to exercise. I need to do this. When they don't meet the expectation, they have all the negative self-talk going on in their heads and they
Mm.
come back down to where they were. So they can never make the progress because they never hit that expectation. right?
So some of the same personality traits that make them very successful in business can
Uh-huh.
actually be damaging when it comes to taking care of themselves.
100%. 100%. So what I do is they tell me, oh, this week I wasn't able to do XYZ. I'm like, okay, no problem. Okay, it's cool. Let's go to next week. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? It's not a problem. Wait, it is what it is. Like, what do you mean to say? Lower the expectation. Things cannot be perfect. Today you don't feel like it. Don't feel like it. That's it. Come back tomorrow. And they lower the expectation and it gives them relief. And then that allows them to be more consistent and because now they're more consistent, they have a aha moment, like a belief shifting moment later in the program. They're like, oh man, actually, I didn't know. I don't have to do this. I don't have to be like that. I don't have to do this. So now they believe in the process. So now they're more consistent and now we're growing.
I love that. And one last question for you here. You mentioned the aha moment that lets people break out of the bad habits and start to build a long term plan for success. What's the aha moment that makes successful people contact you and say, I know I need to do a better job taking care of my health?
And unfortunately, this is when they experience too much pain. And that pain comes in the form of like a memory. So it's a memory, or so basically, a lot of people they scroll, they see my ad, and that ad makes them remember a bad time when you walked in front of the mirror in Macy's around Christmas time because you're looking for some clothes for your wife or your kids, and you walk in front of the mirror in Macy's and you look like crap. That's one of them. Or the doctor tells you, that's it, you're diabetic. And then you're like, oh shit, now there's no coming back. I'm that far in the hole. So that's a memory, right? So some people feel a lot of pain at the moment, and right away they do something about it. 1%, right? It's like you walk in front of the mirror, you look like shit. Take your phone and you contact someone for coaching. That's 1%. But for most people, we have to pound the pain over and over until they say, okay, I really got to do something about it. And they make a decision and they break off.
If you could go back in time,
Mm.
if you think about some of your best clients, if
Mm.
you could go back in time and tell them what signs to look out for to contact you earlier, what would some of those be?
If you're not happy with yourself, be realistic. Are you happy with yourself? Yes or no? If you're happy, that's good. Then don't call me. If you're not happy, do something about it because at the end of the day, you're going to have to fix this one day or another. Like this problem is not going away. So you might as well just do it now, figure it now, become that new person now, be happy now because you know what? Like, if tomorrow something happens to you, that's it. There's no more life. It's gone. So do something about it now. Like things are gonna be okay. It's not gonna be painful, and you're still gonna have some burgers and pizzas. No worries. So yeah, do something now. It's just better.
Awesome, Ronan. Thanks for taking the time. Super interesting business you've got and really important work that you're doing, man.
Thank you, Jeff.